Great day, my dear. Today I'm going to do something very simple and very dangerous at the same time. I'm going to take the pink glasses off your face, but I promise you, I'm not leaving you wounded on the battlefield. I'm not here to break you. I'm here to show you how to survive this life with your mind intact, your heart happy, your soul fulfilled, and your power back in your hands. Because here's the thing nobody ever explained to you properly. If life feels off, I'll tell you why. Here, today, and it will be the day your life, your self-perception, and your future will change forever. This is Katara Lilith. Welcome to the Mind I Live in the Prohibited Psychology series. Have you ever noticed something strange? That two people can live the same life, have the same childhood, the same opportunities, and end up in completely different realities. One feels loved and succeeds, other one feels rejected and stays stuck. And it's not because one is luckier, it's not because the universe likes one more, it's because of programming. And before you roll your eyes, yes, emotional programming is a very dangerous thing. It happens slowly, gradually, over the lifetime. It's consistent, quiet, subconscious, and absolutely dangerous. The kind you didn't choose. The kind your parents installed. The kind life reinforced. And the kind most people never, ever question. From childhood, we learn what to expect from life. We learn love is unsafe, success is stressful, happiness is temporary, everything good will come to an end eventually. Or even better, someone else always has it better. Don't dream too big, don't get too happy, don't trust, and most of what we tell ourselves is negative. Really? Try to observe your thoughts just for one day. You'll be shocked, not because we're broken, but because the brain evolved to scan for danger, not joy. So yes, we program ourselves every single day. But here's the secret nobody explains properly. Science proved this already. Programming does not work through words. Programming works through emotion. Did you know that? We've been programmed. Not because we're weak, not because we're stupid, but because all of us were born into other people's fears, limitations, and unfinished emotional business. Life is hard. Love never lasts. Men disappoint. Women suffer. Someone always has it better than you. Most people repeat these thoughts automatically, daily, without even realizing they're running the same mental software on loop. Psychology calls it conditioning. Neuroscience calls it neural pathways. I call it living on self-destructing autopilot. And today, something very ordinary happened to me that reminded me exactly how this works. I was on FaceTime with my man. I love him deeply. To me, he is intelligent, kind, grounded, strong. He is my rock, my muscles, my legs, my soul. And yes, he is very handsome. I have very good taste, by the way. I wouldn't choose a man that looks or feels like garbage. Of course he smiled. Of course he is humble. And of course, he said, "Oh darling, you're flattering me." And that's when it clicked. I'm not flattering him, I'm telling the truth as I feel it. This is how it works. Listen carefully. While I'm saying it, something very specific happens inside my body. My chest feels warm, my breath slows down, my shoulders drop, my whole system softens. I feel love, appreciation, safety, joy. I feel emotions that program my brain. That's not romance language, that's biology. Now guys, let's talk facts, real ones. When you experience genuine appreciation, love, admiration, not fake affirmations, not forced positivity, your brain releases dopamine first. Dopamine is motivation. Dopamine is a reward. Dopamine is focus. It's the chemical that makes you want to move, build, create, pursue. Then dopamine brings its best friend, oxytocin. Oxytocin is bonding, trust, emotional safety. It's what makes two people feel connected, seen, and secure with each other. And then comes serotonin, the good one, the stabilizer, the one that lifts your self-worth, gives you confidence, emotional balance, and inner calm. And at the same time, and this part matters, cortisol drops, stress hormones go down. Your nervous system stops being in survival mode. So no, I'm not lying to myself. I'm not trying to convince myself my man is good while secretly suffering. I genuinely feel it. My body confirms it. My brain confirms it. If you scan my brain at that moment, science would back me up. And here's where psychology gets really interesting. When I feel those emotions and I express them, when I look at him like that, talk to him like that, something happens on his side too. Psychology calls it the Pygmalion effect, the self-fulfilling prophecy. His testosterone, dopamine, and serotonin balance shift, his confidence rises, he literally stands differently, he looks better, he wants to be better. Not because I demand it, but because I give him wings. This is how a woman can make or break a man. Only a woman has that power. But the right woman, wise woman, sincere woman. Attachment deepens because now he enjoys what the hell he's hearing about himself. He enjoys how he feels around me. His eyes light up, he looks at me happy, his posture changes. And when a man feels elevated in your presence, he wants to come back, he wants to prove it, he wants to protect it. Yes, admiration creates positive addiction. Now, let me ask you this. If you wake up every morning thinking your husband is a piece of crap, what kind of energy do you think you're releasing? When you look at him, what do you think he sees in your eyes? Disappointment? Resentment? Boredom? And tell me, would you want to come back home tonight to see that look again? Think now. Exactly. So no. Screw all those people who taught you to shrink, to brace for disappointment, to expect betrayal. That's not realism. That's emotional poverty. And the same mechanism applies to success, by the way. Some people are genuinely comfortable with a small business, 1 to 2 employees, steady income, low stress. That's their truth. I respect it. But if you are wired for more, if your nervous system can hold expansion and you emotionally fixate on someone smaller than your true potential, you shrink yourself without realizing it. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and vividly felt imagination. That's not spiritual talk, that's neuroscience's also a well-proven fact. So when you emotionally feel your future, your identity shifts first. And once your identity shifts, your behavior follows. You start taking actions without even realizing it. Actions that you would have never taken before. You wake up earlier. You make the extra call. You read what you wouldn't read before. You talk to people you wouldn't approach. Not because you force yourself, but because your brain already thinks this is who you are. Brick by brick, step by step. That's how dreams turn into goals, and goals turn into reality. And here's why I always say, love and success love silence, not secrecy, protection. I don't want other people's trauma, opinions, failed marriages, or bitterness bleeding into my reality. If I believe my partner is extraordinary, and I treat him that way, that becomes our truth. He becomes extraordinary, not my mother's truth. Not my friend's truth. Ours. You are not repeating anybody's pattern. You are not your parents. You are not your best friend who got dumped. You are not statistics. Your brain is plastic. Your nervous system is adaptable. Your life is programmable. And now, this is the part you've been waiting for. This is the part your parents should have taught you from day one. Here's the solution. This is what I use. This is what I've tested. This is what actually works. You do not fight negative thoughts. Ever. That makes them stronger. You interrupt them through the body. The moment you notice tightness in your chest, shallow breath, jaw tension, that's your cue. That's the real signal. Not the thought. You slow your exhale. You drop your shoulders. You relax your tongue. Then, and this is crucial, you introduce a real positive emotion, something true, something your body agrees with, appreciation, gratitude, desire, love, whatever it may be. Don't you have one single positive thing to say about your partner? Now, my dear people, let's make something very clear before we go any further. If there is danger, abuse, or fear in your home, that's not right. This is not for you. You should seek professional help and support. I am not talking about surviving someone else's behavior. But if there is emotional disconnection, lost attraction, boring routine, listen up. If you're living with a partner who yells, for example, or shuts down, and you think I'm talking nonsense right now, hear me out. When a person yells, there is always a reason, always. It can be obvious, or it can be hidden. And I'm talking about the hidden ones. When a man doesn't feel appreciated, when he doesn't feel admired, when he doesn't feel seen, he doesn't always know how to say it. So instead of words, frustration comes out, anger comes out, noise comes out. I'm not saying it's right, I'm saying it's human. So no, you don't need to pamper anyone. You don't need to worship anyone. You don't need to fake admiration. You just need to find one real thing you can be thankful for, something small. Maybe he supports the family, maybe you never had to work a day in your life. Be thankful for that. Maybe he does homework with the kids. Be thankful for that. Just one thing. And say it out loud. You're really good with the kids. I admire your patience. This is a psychological anchor. Or, I realized today how much I appreciate that you take care of the family. Thank you. This is disarming. This will melt his heart even if he doesn't show it. Or, I don't say this often, but I see what you do. I love you. This is heart-melting. That is it. This is all you have to do. Through my practice, I've noticed something strange. People are incredibly greedy with words. They feel things, but they don't say them. They expect others to just know. In many societies, people were taught to speak only when necessary and what is expected of them, to hide emotion, to not show softness, and then we wonder why relationships feel cold. You don't have to change the world. But you can change the pattern in your own house. Because if not you, who will? And when you start practicing this with your partner, your husband, your wife, your children, even your friends, you will see their reactions will shift. I promise. People start blooming. Slowly. They're not used to it, but their brain starts rewiring as well as yours. They start wanting to prove you right. They try harder. They succeed easier. Not because you forced them, but because you reminded them who they are. You remind them of their best potential. You're showing them that they are seen. That's the power we have over each other. And it doesn't come from control. It comes from love and kindness, expressed out loud. And then, you repeat. Repetition plus emotion rewires the brain. That's neuroplasticity. That's how habits break. That's how confidence becomes natural instead of forced. So yes, I choose Cloud9. You can call it pink glasses. I call it emotionally intelligent mastery backed by science. I don't care what you think. I'm happy. And happiness isn't ignorance, it's power. To my listeners in Great Britain, New Zealand, and beautiful Bali, I see you, I feel you, and I'm grateful you're here. If this episode cracked something open in you, stay with me, subscribe, not because you need me, but because this is the mind you live in, and deserves better programming. This was the mind I live in, and this mind creates worlds. See you next week.